What if I told you that the one drug millions rely on to manage blood sugar, metformin, may not be so reliable in the near future? And if you're a woman in perimenopause, it might not even be your best option. So let's talk about what's happening right now and what to do instead. Hi, I'm Jessica Green. I'm an integrative health practitioner, midlife mom, and wellness coach for women who want more energy, clarity, and longevity without burning out or guessing their way to better health. You may have seen my earlier videos breaking down why metformin can cause issues like nutrient depletion, gut discomfort, and fatigue, especially for women in perimenopause. But now there's even a bigger issue that's brewing. Metformin may not be reliable in the near future. Now, just bear with me a minute. Right now, headlines are starting to report what health insiders have known for months, and that is metformin and other pharmaceuticals availability is increasingly volatile. And that's because many of the active ingredients for generic drugs, like metformin, come from China. They're vulnerable to new or continued tariffs. In fact, the Financial Times and Reuters are just reporting that medical supplies and generic drugs are likely to be affected by these policies. Now, most of the world's bulk metformin, HCl, that's hydrochloride, is produced in China and India, which dominate global API manufacturing due to the lower production costs and lax environmental regulations. Now, there are other countries, though, who manufacture metformin, including the US, Canada, and I've already mentioned India. US generic drug manufacturers often import metformin HCl from China, and then they press it into little tablets stateside at the right dosage. Because profit margins are so thin, especially on generic drugs, most US companies don't or won't make these. It is interesting, though, to note that the metformin recall in 2020 was actually from a manufacturer in the US when high levels of a carcinogen contaminant was discovered in it. So when it comes to availability, there's always going to be some vulnerability to any pharmaceutical. Now, if you rely on metformin, this could mean price hikes, supply disruption, or both. Now, let's layer this in, perimenopausal ladies. If you're in perimenopause, metformin may not be working with your body's shifting hormones. I talked about this in more depth in my earlier videos, and I'll link those below. But it bears repeating. It can interfere with B12 absorption and lead to fatigue. It may not support the root cause of insulin resistance in midlife women anyway, especially when stress and sleep and inflammation are all at play. And it could cause gut issues like diarrhea. And if you're like me with a school-aged child, this type of interruption just doesn't work for us. Now, does it? So let's be real. Popping a pill doesn't fix the lifestyle mismatch so many of us face after 40. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I can read studies, and I've linked these in previous videos if you'd like to dig into this a bit more. So, what really does work? What I recommend and what I've seen work time and time again is building your own metabolic toolkit using targeted supplements if you need them, like berberine, often called nature's metformin. It supports insulin sensitivity and blood sugar regulation. And I've got another video I'll link below on that. And then inositol, especially useful for hormonal imbalances and cravings, and has been studied for PCOS and insulin resistance. There are tons of studies on both of these that I've linked up in previous videos, so don't just take my word for it. But supplements alone aren't the magic wand either, and they never are. So what actually works? Strategic daily shifts in how you eat, and how you move, and how you support your body during midlife. This also includes habit formation and creating an environment that supports your overall health and wellness. It's not a fad. It's not a crash plan. It's an actual metabolic reset rooted in your reality, hormones, schedule, cravings, kids, all of it. If you're ready to understand how to build this toolkit for yourself and how to transition towards a sustainable diet and lifestyle shifts for optimum health, join me next Wednesday evening, April 30th, for my Midlife Metabolic Reboot Workshop. In this, we'll cover why insulin resistance is more common and sneaky in midlife, the exact daily strategies that work for midlife women, how to get off the blood sugar roller coaster, even if you've tried it all before. The link is in the description below to sign up. So let's take back our energy, build a body that lasts for you, your family, and your future. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe and like and share this with anyone you think might be interested. And I look forward to seeing you next week.